Good morning, everybody. In this episode of Minecraft Survival, we're finally going to set up a good XP farm using this blaze spawner, and also using this blaze spawner right over here. It's double blaze farm day. Smash like, subscribe, and join the notification gang to never miss a video again. How's it going, everybody? It's me, your British boy. Welcome to Minecraft Survival, episode number 25. Episode number 25 is going to be all about a blaze farm. Before the episode, I was trying to solve a dilemma. The dilemma is, what blocks are we going to use to build the blaze farm? My first thought was netherrack. It's super abundant. We have tons of it from mining for netherite. But then I realized it's netherrack, and it's netherrack. So, moving on. My next option was cobblestone. I mean, we're going to need like 18 stacks of these blocks after all, so has to be easy to get. Cobblestone, insanely easy to get, but also cobblestone. So moving on, deep slate. Deep slate is amazing, one of my favorite things in the world, but I don't have very much of this stuff. As you can tell, I was having a crisis, couldn't figure it out at all, but then I realized maybe the answer was right behind me all along. Oh yes, the answer right there, white concrete. Imagine this stuff inside of the nether, it's so dark and moody, then you put lava on top of it. Oh man, it would look amazing, but then I realized sand. If I'm going to need 18 stacks of this stuff, that means 9 stacks of gravel, not really a problem. 9 stacks of sand, I mean, I guess technically not a problem, but that's a lot of sand. Plus the white dye that I don't really have. And then I realized the answer was actually not behind us the whole time. It was right above us. I know I definitely found pumpkins in this world early on. I promise I found them. I found pumpkins and I have them. They're solidly in my possession. I know exactly where they are. Definitely. Why would you think anything else? Cab. What is that expression you have on your face? Looking mighty suspicious today, if I do say so myself. Aha, I had a feeling. From the second I saw you, I had a feeling you were hiding the pumpkins. Cab, why would you do that? No. I mean, you can have the pumpkins, I only need one. Cab, don't behave like that again. That is not acceptable. Ah, yes, that's right. My wonderful subbies, and also people who have been watching the content for a really long time, but haven't subscribed, but are considering subscribing very soon. Yeah, really, who could have seen it? Episode number 25 begins with, really, the most basic farm of all time, a simple snow farm. Now, let's go ahead and actually rewind things a little bit. Back to this spot right here. My next option was cobblestone. I mean, we're gonna need like 18 stacks of these blocks after all, so 18 stacks, yeah, that's a lot. And to put it into perspective for you, in game, that's 2 rows full of a single chest, or maybe even more impressively, that is still 2 rows full of a double wide chest. A lot of blocks. That's where I came to the conclusion of snow. We can get a lot of snow really quickly. Now that whole 18 stacks thing, where did I get that number from? Well, it's pretty simple. I got that number from math. If you do the math exactly how I was imagining it, basically you take a blaze farm and build a cube around it. Each side of that cube is 9 by 9. You take that and do that 6 times over, a cube, and then multiply it twice, because if you can remember, we're really lucky. We have a double blaze spawner inside of this world. That's how you end up with 18 stacks. Or about 18 stacks. Or, even better, over 18 stacks of snow. Yeah, that's a lot of snow. That should definitely be more than enough for what we have to do today. Now, all I need to do is move this stuff over to the nether, and we're ready to go. The trickiest part about working on this farm today is probably going to be the gas. The gas, I think they could become a big problem. If one of them shoots at the spawner at any moment, I think they have the ability to completely ruin the spawners, erase them forever, which, obviously, huge problem. 2 blaze spawners. Tell me, have you ever seen 2 blaze spawners so perfectly lined up so close? We have one right there, and then we have another one right over here, and I've done a little bit of investigating. I think I've realized that this block is within 16, like that's clearly on, and that one right there just spawned that too. This is the spot, like right here, in this area, perfect spot. Both spawners are on, which is exactly what we need for this build. Now, I think for this build, the best idea is to probably set up a small workstation area, like right over here inside of this hallway. That way, if things get overwhelming, we can run back to this hallway, and also this way, we can clear out the inventory a little bit. Now, we're also going to need to source some blocks from the nether fortress. Insanely sorry about this nether fortress. Maybe I'll fix it one day, or maybe I won't. I'm not too sure. But I am going to need some slabs, and unfortunately, no snow slabs. Nether brick slabs are going to be basically perfect, though. So, for this build, we're going to need to work with a blaze. They're going to continually spawn, which is definitely going to be really fun to deal with. I really mean it. And we're going to set up a room around the spawner as fast as possible. The faster we do this, the less likely that a ghast spawns and completely ruins everything that I'm doing. Now this room, I think it's going to need to be 4 blocks out in every direction, 3 blocks up from the spawner, a couple blocks below the spawner. Should be pretty simple. Now the walls of this room, like I talked about, the snow is going to come in handy huge time. And also, what's also going to come in handy is the fact that we're not over a lava ocean. Like, look at that right there. If I fall, I mean, I fall, but look at this right here. Feather falling 4. It doesn't matter. I could fall all day long practically. Wouldn't be very fun. But I could fall all day long and nothing bad would happen to me at all. Not a single bad thing. So, anyways, the roof of this thing is going to be in like that shape right there, but then fill in the corners. Now, the walls of this thing going to be pretty similar. Excuse me. The walls of this thing pretty similar to that as well. We're going to take that, go straight down like a couple blocks. In fact, we're going to go straight down to the floor. Believe it or not, straight down to the floor. Now, let's go ahead and rewind again. Just rewind for one more quick second. Except, unlike the last time, I don't really have a clip of me saying anything because we're not rewinding like that. I know what you're thinking, though. Waddles, what are you doing building this blaze farm? Where are the sticky pistons? You always build these blaze farms with the sticky pistons. Well, aha. You see, that's exactly where you're right. Usually, I do set these farms up with sticky pistons, but we don't need those anymore. I think sticky pistons are definitely the old way to do things. They worked great before 1.17, but right now, we're in a post-1.17 world. We're inside of 1.18. In 1.18, in 1.18, we're practically in the future now. There's lava funnels all the way. But I'm not too sure. I haven't run the tests on this thing. I don't think it really matters. No matter what, as long as we can pull this thing off without any gas doing anything. I hear one. As long as we can pull this off without any gas, messing anything up, we have 2 blaze spawners. I think this has potential to be my best experience farm that I've ever built. Of course, other than a gigantic gold farm on top of the nether, that doesn't really count. Well, like, my best XP farm that I've ever set up. Now, the walls. If the gas that I keep hearing could just, like, keep making noises and do nothing else for, like, a couple more minutes so I can get walls around the spawner, that would be literally perfect. Thank you, gas. Thank you in advance. Sneaky, sneaky. Where could he be? Good question, Blades. Where in the world could he be? Definitely not behind those fences. No way he would hide behind the fences. Thank you so much for cooperating. Oh my gosh. Thank you. Thank you. Finally, this thing is almost done. I found the gas, but it doesn't matter. This thing is almost done. Finally. Okay, so I got the room set up, and at least like mostly. I still need to go back inside of it and finish some things, but spawner. So there's the spawner. What we're going to want to do is drop them down, I think like 3 blocks. 3 blocks should probably be good, which means all of this needs to go away. The walls need to come down a little bit more. Excuse me, Blaze. Take the walls all around this thing and bring them down a tiny bit more, and then put a floor in. Floor, wait for it. Insanely innovative, I know. Snow. Yes, that's right. There's going to be snow all over the floor of this thing, and it's going to look great. And while we're at it, we can actually just take all of this nether bricks away. Maybe I could use these somewhere else. Fix the temple. Not fix the temple. It's totally up to me. And basically, there we go. Spawner fully boxed in. That marks the center of the spawner. That one's done. It kind of needs a little bit more, but now this one over here. I haven't done a single thing to this spawner over here. I haven't worked on it at all, and that's entirely despicable. We're gonna need to catch this spawner up. I think I need to put a slab on the top of that one, by the way. The potentially dangerous thing about this one is lava. There's literally lava all over the place over here, and magma cubes, so I think we pick up the lava with the buckets. Could definitely use that. Gonna have to watch out for the magma cubes. Once I get this box started, we should be good. I guess, fortunately, on the bright side of things, I don't think there's going to be, like, as much gas over here. They won't spawn in the basalt deltas, right? Maybe they do. Since when has the Blaze pathfinding been so good? Like, they're floating downwards, civilly walking through the hallway to get me, and then shooting at me from right behind me? What? Like, did I miss something, genuinely, or has it always worked like this? This has been insane. But box number 2, is basically done. All I need to do is clean up this room a little bit, fix up the floor a tiny bit, and then we can move on. Speed it on the floor, fix up the wall a little bit, and there we go. Finished. That wasn't too bad. Both blaze farms contained. So, with that out of the way, now it's time for the tricky part. And by tricky part, honestly, not bad at all. Like, this is pretty straightforward. What we need to do is figure out how to move the blaze from that farm to the middle, blaze from this farm over to the middle, and I think I've got it already. So, this one, kind of straightforward. We have the middle right there. We could essentially just funnel the blaze straight down this way. For this one, it's going to be a little bit more tricky, but also really straightforward. I think all we need to do is drop them out this way, and then funnel them straight over this way. Shouldn't be a problem at all. I think it's going to be a flawless system, perfectly tuned from the exact moment we started up. All we need to do is do the funnels, and speaking of funnels, lava. I have so much. Okay, so lava funnel, pretty simple. We do lava in that corner, we do lava in that corner. It's going to flow to the middle and then drop down. All we need to do is dig down a little bit more in this area, basically lower the floor everywhere, lower those blocks, and the lava will continue to flow right over to this spot right here. This part is really simple. Alright, work on the floor a little bit more, then we take all of these blocks out, and the lava's going to flow right to the middle, exactly as expected. That's perfect. And then the funnel just carries on from there. We can get them into single file, and move them wherever we need them to go. Now, for this one, I do basically the exact same thing. Break back into this thing, fully clear it out. Apparently, they're going to be, like, literally right there from the start. Okay, lava right there, that flows forward. Then I can figure out where I need to dig down, which is going to be all of this spot right here. Replace the floor, even underneath those blocks, lower the wall down. You know, I'm not quite done yet today. Like, I'm going to have to break back into these rooms and, you know, like, remove all these platforms and everything like that. So that's going to be a little bit tricky, but so far this really hasn't been that bad. Like, I thought this was going to be way worse, working on this blaze farms and having to deal with, you know, blaze spawning constantly the entire time, not being very happy about what I'm doing or existing near them, you know. But yeah, it really hasn't been that bad at all. Like, really easy, actually. One thing that I will say, though, is definitely glad I got mending on all of this armor right here, because look at this. It's in literal perfect condition. Without mending, I think this stuff would be gone by now. But anyways, this room, take all of these out. Same thing is going to happen to the funnel. The funnel's going to move all of the blaze to the middle of the room. Now all I need to do is figure out how to actually line them up. So I guess that's going to be what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 blocks this way. And then I do some kind of turn and send them over this way. Meanwhile, this one, all I literally need to do is, like, drop them straight down. Okay, so this is a gamble here. Let's see. Will this work? Like, theoretically, can I just move them over like that? And then, I guess, drop them down to make that continue going that way. And then move them over to, like, this spot right here. I mean, this is essentially the target. That's all I really need to do, theoretically. Will that work? And then, meanwhile, over here, basically the same thing. Except this time we need to drop them down and then turn them somehow. Will that actually turn the blaze? I hope so. Okay, now, this is where the problem is, because we're not, like, really close to where we need to be. We're, like, pretty close, but not quite there yet, which means I think we need to dig down again, and if I want these things to be on the same layer, which I definitely do, that means we're going to need to make this thing drop down, too. But I don't think it's going to be a big deal. I think we could just drop them both down, contain the lava with signs. I think this is it. I think it's going to work. Alright, so let's actually test this out. Look at that. It slowly goes around the corner. It's going to be slow. There might be a better way to speed this up, but it's definitely going to go around the corner, and if it didn't see me, it would have stayed in the lava. It definitely makes it around the corner. Wait a second, I figured something out. What am I talking about? Two separate chambers, like one right there and one right there? No, obviously not. No. I had it all wrong the whole time. The blazes go down into this stream and get dropped right there. Same thing over there. I make one chamber that is like 4 blocks wide or something. Doesn't really matter at all. Then I stand on this side of the chamber, like looking this way, swing the sword at them the whole time, and you see what I'm seeing. Do you get the vision? You get the vision right here. Definitely you do. Yeah. They're all in the same exact chamber. Oh, that's it. That's the entire build. That's 100% it. Fill it back in, make it a little bit better, clean it up, find an AFK spot, which I guess is like right here. That's it. That's the build. Yep, that's right. Didn't explain it very well, but initially I was thinking we needed to have 2 separate grinding spots. But no, one is always better. That moment of pure joy and bliss that we just experienced together was me coming to that realization. That realization that we just experienced together, definitely on par with some of the greatest realizations of all time, made by some of humanity's greatest philosophers of all time. But anyways, there was only one way to test this farm out and see if it will work flawlessly the first time, or if we're going to need to change things. Truly, there's only one way to find out, and that's actually using the farm. To make this thing fully functional, unfortunately I needed to break my way back into each of the blaze chambers and remove all of the extra blocks that I left inside of them. That part was not fun, at all. In the process of taking out all of those precious nether bricks, I also realized that I was sending them straight into lava and burning them up. I considered going back in and removing the lava buckets from each corner, taking the lava away so I could actually, collect the bricks, and then I immediately stopped considering that because that's crazy. I've had enough with the blaze today. I do not want to see them anymore. Also, apparently I turned the first blaze farm that we were working on into some kind of abstract cobblestone art piece. So that was the thing. Had to take those things out too. Easy. Piece of cake. That's exactly what it's been today. This whole project, this whole process has been insanely easy. It's been annoying for sure, Blaze constantly shooting at me, but easy. This has been a piece of cake, and oh, I just thought about that one. That's gonna be a problem. Made that mad, but Blaze, inside of the funnel. It works. The Blaze are inside of this thing, and at this point, the zombie piglin are just gonna be mad at me, so I might as well deal with those. But the funnel, it definitely, absolutely works. All that I need to do, I think, is maybe lower the ceiling on this thing. It works, 100%. The double Blaze farm is fully set up. However, zombie piglins, all of them, apparently, very mad at me for some strange reason, so I'm gonna have to deal with those somehow. So, piglins, friends, my friends, piglins, can we just, forgive each other? You got in my way, I got in your way. We'll just forgive each other. You don't seem mad at me, so that's good. Now, what's going on with this thing? Is it backed up? Aha! It is backed up. What are we doing? What are we doing? Don't wait at the corner. No. Keep moving. How do I fix that? Can I just maybe take a couple blocks out of this thing and that'll fix it? Or maybe it's because there's so many inside of this thing right now. Could that be it? And then also they can see me now, so I'm kind of ruining it. Will that fix it? Like a wider turn? Maybe a wider turn will do the job. I mean, they're clearly like moving through the thing. I think that did the trick. The Blaze are definitely slowly making their way over here from that side. That's good. And then they're definitely spawning over on this side too and making their way over here. I think it's a little bit of a slow process, but if I'm just patient and I sit inside of this thing, as long as that spawner is actually on, I have to figure out how to check that. But as long as I'm patient inside of this thing, this is an XP farm. This XP farm is a solid XP farm, like a million times, precisely, exactly a million times better than the other one, which makes me so happy. No more spider spawner. This is it. This works. The pickaxe can be healed. We can get fuel, like really easily now, and it works. The double blaze spawner. And so after that great discovery of the farm, actually working, it was time for me to start building. Now, to be honest, I wasn't initially planning on doing all of this building in this episode. The plan was really to get the blaze farm up and running, and then come back later, once I have another help vision, still working on that one, and finish up the blaze farm. But then, I found inspiration. I kind of came up with an idea as to what I wanted to do on the spot, and so I decided to just go with it. That idea involves nether brick, tons of that stuff, blackstone, a lot of blackstone, and blackstone bricks too. Don't think I've ever used those in this world yet. A nice thing about the blaze farm, the whole time I was working on this thing, they kept spawning, and spawning, and spawning. So I was able to take them out, get a bunch of levels, and fix my pickaxe up all the way. I built, and then I built, and then I built a little bit more. Eventually, kind of ran out of the supplies that I needed, so I went back over to the overworld, and then, after that, I went back to the nether, and finished everything up. A lot of bit later, after doing so much building that I didn't plan on doing today at all, here we have the Blaze Temple of Blaze Death, fully complete, fully finished. Just don't look at the bottom of the thing, it's kind of floating, but don't worry about it. The Blaze Temple is fully finished, and I love it. So I mentioned in the time-lapse that I didn't really plan on doing this today. Yeah, I didn't plan on doing this today at all, but then I got the inspiration. Blackstone Fortress, basically sitting over the Nether Fortress, that runs right through this fortress. So here we have a Blackstone Fortress, like I just said, and then we have the Nether Fortress that cuts right through this thing. I'm definitely going to set up a Wither Skeleton farm inside of this thing, so I kind of need access to it. This is just random work chests, don't really need it anymore. And then this area, heavily renovated and modified. Now we have a ladder. The ladder is going to access the blaze farm itself right there. but it's also going to access something maybe even more important. If we keep going down this ladder all the way, I cut straight through the lava ocean. That was a little bit of a process. This ladder will land us all the way down at the bottom of our nether, inside of our netherite mine. So now we have a better, safer, easier way to access this thing. We'll definitely be back here at some point to mine for more netherite. Yeah, that's a nice setup. It's a pretty long ladder, pretty long ways, but anyways, climbing back up the thing into the actual farm itself, here we have the final version of it. So I decided to put a little window on that lava stream right there, and then another one right over there. Unfortunately, they're not perfectly even because the funnels are on different layers, you know. You can see farm number 1 right there. Farm number 2 is right behind this wall. Now, the reason I decided to do these walls different is because, like literally, the farm is exactly behind that wall. Fences would have looked really weird, so I decided to do a big window. Whoa, almost fell. Oh, just kidding. It's red stained glass. So I had some inspiration for this thing. I decided to take the nether fortress and basically take the bridge concept and copy it down here. We have a bridge right there bridging out next to the lava, but not actually. It's just red stained glass. Speaking of lava, we have lava pouring from the ceiling right there. Lights it up really, really nicely in my opinion. Oh yes, and then my trophy. The biggest prize of today, other than the blaze farm of course, is going to be this thing right here. Unfortunately, a piglin decided to spawn, and bad news for the piglin. Or great news for the piglin, because I am a piglin now. Now, this farm, this thing is an absolute beast. The unit is so good. I've been able to, of course, keep the armor in really good condition. Fix this pickaxe all the way back up. I used it a little bit more. But let me show you this thing. So, basically, to get this thing to work, all that I'm going to need to do is stand around inside of this room I found. Like, this spot usually seems to work pretty well. However, if I'm having problems, all I need to do is go back up here and then stand in, like, this spot right here. 100%. This area right here, where that mushroom was actually, is exactly where I had put the cobblestone before. Now, I stand around up here for a little while. Eventually, I'm going to start hearing the blaze. What I figured I could do, if I was, like, really, really AFK, not paying attention, easy. Block the door up, block this door up with a little bit of dirt or something. Not a problem. I'm going to do this until I get nether wood. Once I have nether wood, I'll just put the nether wood there because that's even better. The thing can admittedly take a little bit of time to get started up sometimes. However, once it gets started up and running, it's good. Like, it's really, really good. I like the glass windows. You can see the blaze slowly moving through the lava stream right there. And then while they're in the lava stream, more blaze are spawning over there. Then, all I need to do is walk over here with my sword and take the blaze out. Now, the sword is definitely a problem. I'm going to need to get a better sword for sure. Looting 3, absolutely. But for today, an XP farm that is not the spider farm. Oh, it's amazing. It's so amazing. It's so good. And it's safe. Easy to use. And that's it. That's it for episode number 25 of Minecraft Survival. Now, while I continue to grind out the blaze inside of here and get ahead, oh, this is the perfect conclusion. While I continue to do this, I'd like to thank my patrons. A big thank you, patron gang, Fire Dragon 19, Paul P, Gabriel Y, and Alan N. I appreciate the support. Huge thank you to all of you for watching this episode. If you enjoyed it, consider leaving a like. It helps out huge time. Subscribe for more episodes of Minecraft Survival all the time. Down in the description are all of my links. Absolutely check them out. A video on the end card. It's been me. I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye, everyone.